Chapter 1, My Mission. I found this notebook in the stationery aisle at Food King. I don't know how much it costs because my mom paid for it, but when I'm famous, I predict it will sell for millions of dollars. Maybe billions. It will be a historic document like the Magna Carta or the very first Superman comic. Someday, everyone is going to want to know what's written here. After paying for the groceries, Mom asked the produce manager if she could have some cardboard boxes. "They're for my son," she said. "We usually crush all our boxes, but you're in luck," replied the manager. "A delivery just came in. How many do you need?" "According to my calculations, I'll need about 10 boxes to build a decent-sized spaceship," I told him. He smiled and took us to a room with enough cardboard boxes to build a fleet of star cruisers. On the way home, I sat in the back of our van with the boxes and made some quick pencil sketches. By the time we pulled into our driveway, I knew exactly how I was going to use each box to construct the hull of my ship. That's the kind of genius I am. Not just brilliant, but fast. I'd like to say I'm on a secret mission to save the world or something noble like that, but I'm not. I just want to put a few light years between me and my little brother. His name is Jonathan, and he's evil, seriously. To be honest, some people actually like my little brother. Grown-ups are the ones most likely to suffer from this form of brain damage. "Oh, he's such a sweet child," they say. Sweet? They wouldn't say that if they had to live with him like I do. First of all, Jonathan never shuts up. Talk, talk, talk. His mouth is like a hole in his brain where questions leak out. He even asks them in his sleep. I'm not kidding, he does it all the time. When he was little, he asks questions like, "Does mud have a belly button? And how come babies are born naked?" Now he wants to know things like, who invented ice cream? And how come the moon is yellow? Just try listening to babble like that all day long. And what a klutz. If you don't believe me, just take Jonathan fishing and watch him try to put a worm on a hook. He can't do it. He tries, but he can't. The worm keeps falling on the ground, and I end up having to do it for him. Okay, maybe he's not evil. Maybe he's just rotten, but everything he does gets on my nerves. The way he never stops squirming when he sits, the way he shuffles his feet when he walks, even the way he sleeps, curled up like a dog, drooling on his pillow, drives me up the wall. How that crybaby brat Tattletale got to be a member of my family, I'll never know. He sure doesn't have any good qualities. He knows nothing about dinosaurs or Z-Men or video games. He doesn't even know how to open a bottle of ketchup without getting it all over himself. Mom says I'm normal. Normal? How can that be? She says all big brothers feel the way I do, but I know that's not true. There's a kid at school, Billy Rosenberg, who claims to actually like his little brother. Mom tells me not to worry. She says it's just sibling rivalry, Alex. As if that explained it all, as if giving it a fancy name made it okay. According to her, it's just a phase I'm going through. Dad says you got all the love before your little brother came along. Now you're learning how to share it. I guess that's what you get when both your parents are psychiatrists. A lot of dumb advice, but it's not a phase I'm going through, and I won't grow out of it. That's why I have to leave. Any planet with a breathable atmosphere will do. Mountains and lakes and green grass and trees would be nice too. And volcanoes. I really love volcanoes. The important thing is to get as far away from Jonathan and planet Earth as possible. So far away that no one, not even NASA, will ever find me and bring me home. Jonathan, me, the universe. Chapter 2, My Spaceship. It's never easy doing anything when Jonathan is around. As soon as I brought the boxes inside the house, he latched onto me like a tick and started tugging on the belt loops of my jeans. "Are you building something for me?" He pestered me all the way upstairs to my room. One time I actually built Jonathan a simple telescope for show and tell. I made it in 5 minutes from a piece of plastic I found in the trash, a broken magnifying glass, a paper towel roll, and a little duct tape. So now the creep expects me to devote my entire life to building things for him. "Yeah, I'm building you a coffin," I said. "I don't think so," he replied with that wormy little voice of his. "I think you're building me a castle. You're building me a castle so I can be a knight. Are you going to be my horse?" "No," I said, "I'm not going to be your horse. That's okay. I'll be the king and you can be my servant." "It's not a castle," I told him. "Now please go away." Mom once advised me, always say please when talking to Jonathan. You'd be surprised at how effective it is. Well, so far it hasn't worked at all. I just want to watch, said Jonathan. He picked up the utility knife I was going to use to cut the cardboard, and I want to help too. Give me that. I grabbed the knife from his hand. You're not supposed to play with knives. Now get out of here. I get it, he said as I pushed him toward the door. You want to surprise me. That's why you want me to leave. I want to surprise you all right, I said, and I thought to myself, won't you be surprised when you wake up someday and I'm gone forever and living on the other side of the galaxy. I shoved Jonathan into the hall and slammed the door in his face. You'd think he would catch my drift and go find something else to do, but he never does. I'll just guard the door so nobody bothers you, he shouted. Thanks, I said, and started to work. I love cardboard. It's the perfect material for my kind of work. It's fast, it's flexible, it's everywhere, and it's free. I began by installing the main power unit and stellar drive in the biggest box. This is also where I'll sleep and store food, water, and spare cargo. The second biggest box is for the bridge of my ship, where the control panels and navigation equipment will be located. I'll be doing all navigating electronically, but I can cut a circular hole in this box so I can look out at the Milky Way anytime I want to. In the third box, I installed the master computer and radar dish. I built everything according to my own unique design, mostly with stuff I collected from the street on garbage day and keep in plastic bins under my bed. For example, my radar dish is made from old radio parts, an empty soup can, nylon yarn, some gears from an old clock, aluminum foil, copper wire, plastic straws. Radar dish. For Homeland Security reasons, I'm leaving out certain important details in this notebook. I wouldn't want my plans to fall into the wrong hands, but for those of you reading these notes hoping to build your own spaceship, I will give you one piece of free advice. Always use duct tape, the silver kind. Never use Scotch tape or even masking tape. That stuff is so flimsy your ship will fall apart before you reach the Van Allen belts. Of course, I didn't make everything all at once. I've been planning and working on the main components of my spaceship for weeks. As soon as I finish something, I put it on the top shelf of my closet where Jonathan can't reach. The hardest part to construct was the stellar drive. It doesn't work like most of today's spaceships. I'd be an old man with a long gray beard before I left the solar system in a spacecraft of that sort. My engine works according to my very own space warp design, which I based on the latest developments in superstring theory. Instead of propelling you through space like a bullet, my stellar drive shrinks the space between where you are and where you want to go. When you can shrink 1 trillion miles down to 1/1,000,000th of an inch, you can go anywhere in the universe in the blink of an eye. Best of all, my stellar drive requires such a small amount of energy it runs on only 2 AA batteries. It took me less than an hour and a half to build the hull and outfit my spaceship. That's probably a record of some sort. I could have done it sooner, but Jonathan wouldn't stop bugging me. He kept peering through the keyhole and saying things like, "Hey, I can't see anything. Get out of my way." It got so annoying that I had to tape over the keyhole, but that didn't shut him up. "Don't forget to put a flag on top," he said, "and make sure the walls are strong." That's the whole idea of a castle. The walls have to be strong. The taller, the better. After a while, he started shoving crayon drawings under my door. "You see, that's what it has to look like. Make sure it looks exactly like this," he shouted as each new drawing came sliding toward me. "See the turrets? It's got to have lots of turrets." Because he couldn't see what was happening, every sentence out of his mouth was, "So, how's it going? And are you done yet?" I just ignored him, which is the one thing he really hates. Before long, he began pounding on my door. "Hey, let me in," he shouted. "I want to take a nap." "Take a nap? Give me a break. Since when does a 6-year-old want to take a nap?" "Take a nap in your own room," I told him. "I can't. My bed is too lumpy," he whined and kept on pounding. The noise was really loud, but I just tuned it out. My ship was ready to test. I stepped back to admire my handiwork. What a beauty. Every part of it was unique. Every part of it was me. If everything worked according to plan, I'd soon be free of Jonathan forever. I climbed aboard and flipped on the main power unit. Then I turned up the throttle just one notch. Suddenly, my spaceship leaped into the air and hovered a few inches from the ceiling. Wow! This ship is as jumpy as a frog, I thought, and right then and there I named her Star Jumper.